It's the People's Podcast Show with Adrian Biddle, Melissa Bartlett, and your boy Kerry Bixby. It's your show, so tell us what you want to talk about. It's that the Round Table Podcast Show.
No, my shoulder's gonna be gone.
Well, we are back. We are back. We are back. How do you phrase it, Mel, whenever you be looking forward to this?
I'll be looking for it. I don't know. What do I say?
You saying, I've been waiting all week.
All week long.
Yes, family. So we're back, and it looks like we got a couple of people already in our chats. Feel free to say hello to Liz. A lot of our viewers are familiar with Liz Mallers. We like to call her our sexpert. So you about to get sexucation this evening. You like that? Y'all like that? I know. I came up there with Simone and everything, but. First, let me do the honors of introducing the co-host, Melissa, Miss Pitbull. How are you doing today?
I am doing well. I'm so excited. I have some questions of my own for Miss Liz. So I am super excited about the show and genuinely just like her. So she's had some major updates in her life.
Oh, waiting for this.
Yeah, we've been waiting for, and we want to get some updates and some tea, see what's going on with her and her career. So I'm always excited when Liz is on the show. You guys know I need the podcast in the middle of the week because it gets me over what I've already accomplished and it gives me fuel to finish it out. So I'm ready. What about you, A Money, the delectable decibels, the CeeLo country co-host?
You keep adding on to it. I'm doing all right. Like you, I've been looking forward to this all week, and we said we like to try to get Liz on whenever we can because she always be bringing knowledge. So I'm looking forward to this. And as always, our third member, please keep him and his family in prayer, the Disby family. Hoping everything is well. So keep him in prayer and hopefully be back sometime soon.
Right.
Charlie is already checking in, saying, "Hey, Liz," and appreciate you joining us, Charlie, and everyone else who's out there. And let me see if I can get this right, because I know my brother be struggling with it as well. I'm probably gonna get tongue-tied too. Let me see. She also say, "Hey, friend Malie." I just tore that all up, didn't I?
Friend Malie.
Friend Malie. Okay.
Oh, Lord. Nobody, please name your baby that. Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Gets me every time. So, Liz, how have you been doing?
I've been doing good. Tired. Pregnant. Very pregnant. I'm officially, Friday I'll be 28 weeks. So you're feeling it. I'm in the third trimester. It's coming. It is coming. I'm feeling it. The pressure of the approaching due date. I've been calling it D-Day, and it feels like it's just right here. But I did find a shirt that I'm wearing underneath this. It's very appropriate. Naps and snacks. That's been my life lately.
I remember those days. Yes. So,
yeah.
Charlie said, "Yay, baby. Happy 28 weeks.
I know.
Yes, congratulations.
Liz, we are working on an ATRT onesie for the baby.
I love that. Oh, yeah, it's been a whirlwind. It's my first, so learning pregnancy as I go. I've been reading the What to Expect in the Baby's First Year, and I'm just overwhelmed. But I keep telling myself every parent has been a first-time parent.
Yep.
First. So I'm okay. I'll be all right.
You'll be fine. It's important to understand and know that this time that this baby is growing with you, is connected with you, is dictating everything that goes on with your body, is also the first steps of bonding.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so the books are great. I'm not gonna, say don't, but at the same time, you have common sense. You have to trust that you have been carrying this baby growing inside of you for almost a year.
Oh, no.
So you're gonna have a connection with this baby. You're gonna know when something's wrong. You're gonna know when something's not wrong. You're gonna be a great mom. You're gonna do well. Have no doubt.
Thank you. I do feel the natural instincts kind of kicking in. My sister the other day, she was like, "You really sound like a mom." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, I'm not doing it on purpose." And she said, "Well, nope. It just seems like you've just been sounding more and more like a mom, just the way that you're talking." And I don't really hear it, but it is so natural. It's been really fun, with sexuality. There's a lot of natural, feelings and psychology and things that go with that. And I'm very in tune with all of that since I study it. And this is, the product of sex. So it's just as natural. And it's really, really cool for me to be able to experience this firsthand. And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for all the ups. I'm grateful for the downs even. First trimester was brutal, but I'm grateful that I was able, to experience that for myself and get through it.
So I have to ask, is your husband pregnant as well?
We don't say we are pregnant. We say I'm pregnant, but he's very supportive of me. He, I'll ask for a back rub or he'll give me one anyway. And are you talking like, is he up on the snacks with me?
Yeah. So my husband was pregnant with me. His shirt kind of sat out a little bit. He had a little pudge. He wound up eating a lot of sweets with both of our daughters. It was just kind of stuff. He was sleepy, tired. He couldn't really understand why. It was kind of like, why am I having some of those symptoms as well? So that's where I was asking.
Oh, okay. I guess a little bit. He definitely loves, I'm usually trying to steer clear of the more easy grab and go snacks like Doritos and hot Cheetos and, cookies and donuts and stuff. I usually try to not get those at the store. Otherwise I'll eat them and, trying to just be healthy. But pregnancy, everything is a go. And Steve has really been loving that and sharing in that joy. Yeah, he wears it well, but yeah, he's loving the pregnancy snacks I'm bringing home for sure.
Oh, that's good. Third trimester, eat what you want and do what you want because you need to get all of it in. So when it's time.
Oh yeah, I'm giving myself a lot of grace in that area.
Yeah. As everybody can see, Charlie chimed in. Educational and product research is what I call it.
Mm-hmm.
So true, so true. So between Charlie, Melissa, asking these poignant questions and sharing and even sharing some knowledge, I'm sure this is going to be an entertaining show, as well as anybody else who has questions about sex. This is the expert to ask, as well as Charlotte may be chiming in with you on some of these questions too.
Yeah.
She showed desire.
Yeah.
So what's up first, Mel, up the plate? What you got?
Really just so I had a couple of people who knew that Liz was coming on the show. So they're still shy.
Oh, okay.
So one of the questions was from a woman who is over 50,
Okay.
and she's noticing that she's having peaks and valleys with her sexuality. She's noticing that she's having um, excessive moisture when she's peaking, and then extreme nothing when she's not.
Mhm.
So she's just like, is there something going on? Is there something wrong? Like, she didn't know if there's something that she needed to do to kind of balance that out, or,
Yeah. Well, that's I would put a lot of the blame on hormones there.
Okay.
50 plus. I mean, you're looking at end-ish of menopause, depending
Right.
on, and that's where, I mean, your hormones it sounds like they're still kind of evening out for her.
Mm-hmm.
So when her testosterone's a little higher and her estrogen is a little lower, she's going to feel a little bit, ready to go, a little bit more moisture, maybe a lot of bit more moisture, it sounds like, because it's all controlled by mainly testosterone. And when your estrogen's lower, your testosterone can shine. And then, the reverse is true for the reverse. So as far as what she can do to balance it out, I mean, first ask yourself, do you want to balance it out, or do you want to let your body kind of play itself out naturally? It's, if it is truly hormonally caused with menopause, maybe, 50 plus, I don't know how much over 50 you're talking, but if she's still going through menopause, and maybe just see if it balances out on its own. If she wants some intervention, there's hormone replacement therapy. I don't know if that's in the cards as far as like what she's comfortable with, or, financial situation or access, but that can certainly help. There's like creams that she can use that are topical, so there's not like injections or pills or anything. There's also injections and pills, so that's kind of more of, I guess, an extreme way to balance it out.
But if she doesn't have, first of all, it's quite natural, to have and be experiencing this, and
Absolutely.
if it becomes a uncomfortable journey, she has these alternative methods for hormone to kind of regulate the hormones, which she talked about, but she really didn't know because it's affected her relationship, because she said she's also realized that when she's peaked and she's like experiencing and doing things and kind of, I guess, maybe being more on the aggressive side, which her boyfriend likes. And then when she's hitting that, it's like, are you serious? Like, where's she at? Hello, can she come back? So she was just like, she hates to kind of have that, pendulum like swinging so extreme. So that's why she was asking to try to balance it out.
Okay, yeah. So more of the intimate relationship.
Right.
Kind of smoothing that part out.
Right.
Okay, that makes more sense. Well, first of all, rock on with embracing that more like empowered feeling when you're up. Totally embrace that. Love that. That works in your partnership. When she's feeling that dip, keep in mind that that's going to be a little jarring for the partner as well. Hormonally, she's not going to be feeling like, I want to do this. Don't do it if you don't want to do it. Forcing it is not, the answer. But what other forms of intimacy can you bring in that isn't sex strictly, that isn't, sexual even, but is there some kind of like, what are your partner's love languages? If your partner's really into like acts of service, maybe offering a back rub or, you know, picking up an extra chore or something that would really jive with your partner and make them feel affection and intimacy from you, that's not outright sexual, because you're not going to be feeling that outright sexual stuff. So that might help balance the, you know, that's just like an easy, a quick answer for balancing out the like emotional roller coaster that comes with it within the partnership. I'd also just keep your communication super open with your partner and say, look, this is what I'm experiencing. This is kind of out of my hands. This is very natural. So I'm on this roller coaster, you can get on this roller coaster with me, or you can try to pull me off of it. If we do that, one or both of us is going to get hurt. So like, how can we ride this ride together and both be, you know, satisfied and you know, just an understanding of each other. So keep that communication open, be receptive to also what your partner is saying. Cause if they're affected too, then their feelings are valid too with what they're experiencing. So, but definitely, you know, be kind to yourself through it. It's a train that's coming and you can't stop it kind of thing. So,
right.
Yeah.
I think you brought up some good points, not only for her, but some other women that may be feeling and going through that. Do men go through? So men, it's funny that it's called menopause, but do men have menopause?
There is a thing called andropause that I don't know a whole lot about it, so I don't know how much I want to speak to it, but it's another hormonal change that men go through as well. I am not super well versed in it, so I can't say like the age at which it happens or if it happens to all men or what exactly happens. But I know there's some kind of change that they go through. I know that throughout life, their libido decreases and we have those peaks and valleys. But yeah, there's some, I mean, as we age, there's a lot of factors that come into play with how we're going to experience and react to life. But as far as like the biological and hormonal changes, I don't know. If you're interested, definitely Google andropause. I've got to do some more research on it, but yeah.
It sounds scary to me. I don't even know if I want to look that up.
From what I understand, it's not nearly as intense as menopause.
We got homework. We got homework.
Yes. So let me add to this as well. So since the pregnancy, see how I can phrase this. Has it been uncomfortable or have you gotten used to it, I guess as the baby is growing inside of you, have you had to come up with new ways to perform?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm an open book, so I'll say, yes, I have. We have. It's obviously you don't want to squish baby.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring baby into the play. And it's uncomfortable anyway. I know you haven't experienced being pregnant yourself, but your body is super uncomfortable. It's like squishing a water balloon almost.
Yes.
And you feel that pressure, like, oh, I don't want to do that. So my body will tell me to back off. So yeah, I've had to play around a little bit with different positions, holding myself up in certain.
That was the fun part, though, like trying to figure out. Oh, wait a minute. And you look all crazy, but it's like, hey, this works.
No. And you can, I mean, discover something that is like, well, we should try this after baby. This is kind of fun. So definitely. I'm all about normalizing, using outside of the body props and toys and stuff. So toys have been fun. I've noticed, I mean, full disclosure here, with certain toys with shorter handles, those are going to be harder and harder for me to use. So I'm going to be needing my longer handled toys in this third trimester. But yeah, we're course correcting as my body grows, and it's a wild ride. Yeah.
Speaking of toys, I have another question. And Charlie Twos. She already here. Charlie Twos. So
you see a bedroom accessory. It has to have a party with Charlie.
Yeah.
The advertisement. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
A lot of good stuff.
As soon as I say this, everybody's gonna laugh. Well, I don't know. A Money might not laugh, but because he's not gonna know. So here's another one. Woman, I finally given in to the hype everyone's been talking about, and I must say, if I could put a ring on this thing, I would. I love my rose.
The rose.
The rose.
That's the suction one, right?
The suction one.
Yeah. There's so many different names. Okay. Yeah.
She says she loves her rose. She also uses it with her partner. And he was reluctant, like, well, that's for a woman. What could you do for me? And she's like, he's at the point now where he be like, baby, go get the flower.
Flower. I love it.
Baby, go get the flower.
Well, those are fun because they're still, you're still available for penetration.
Right.
If that's in the works for you. So
who?
The woman.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it depends on what you do, A Money.
Well, he is too technically at this point.
So, do you know what the rose is, A Money?
No, I do not.
Okay.
But I'm sure you can find it on this website, though.
You can find it on this website. It's a toy. It looks like a rose.
Partywithcharlie.com.
But it has a suction mechanism. So there's nothing that would, like, even if a guy is using it, it's nothing that would penetrate a dude. Like, no. Mm-hmm. But it basically, you can use it wherever you want to on your body. And yeah. So Charlie said the rose gets mixed reviews in my circle. I think, and this is just my opinion, you and Liz can add on or correct me. Do you know, like, when you're not totally stimulated, you're not totally aroused, so you're not totally hard, you're not totally filled with blood, your tissue, all of that. I think the rose is a little rough. I think you need to use it when you're, like, totally aroused.
Yeah. Like,
you gotta be there in order to enjoy it. Because I think it might be a little rough if you're not there.
Yeah. I could see that. Well, it's probably different for everyone.
I mean, yeah, and of course it's different for everybody. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I feel like it's probably a more pleasurable experience for those who say that I don't like it, or I've heard women say, like, oh, that hurt, or it wasn't,
right.
It wasn't. So I think that's part of it.
Yeah, I think for any of the suction toys or like air pulsation toys or the things that stimulate or mimic like the clitoral sucking,
right?
Which you can use on your nipples too, and other places like you said, Mel. Yeah, I think your mileage may vary, kind of thing. With the clitoris, with like putting it on your clitoris. If you imagine, like, my thumb is the clitoris, right? And then it's covered by a hood. And then when you're stimulated and you like get hard and you're all engorged and stuff, your clitoris actually, like, comes from the same blueprint as a penis does. So
that's right.
When your clitoris gets hard, your hood will retract a little bit, and different for everybody. So some hoods retract a whole lot, some only retract just a little bit, some hardly retract. So when you have that sucking sensation over it with the toy, I think it will depend on, do you like having a little bit more coverage from your hood? Do you like having your clitoris totally exposed, waiting until you're like super turned on, very stimulated, because for some, when the hood is retracted, it is overstimulation.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had clients tell me, like, when they're really stimulated, even a vibrator or like being touched down there is just too much. And I say, well, try, like a thin pair of panties over it or something, and try it with like underwear on maybe, or, something else, just to give it kind of like a protective layer.
Right.
And so it's, it's really going to depend. I think too, with the suction toys, it's really easy. It's just like, what do they call? Oh, a suction cup. Oh, pregnancy brain.
You fine.
If you get it off a little bit, the suction's totally off.
Right.
So you got to find that angle, and maybe you want the suction to be off a little bit. Maybe you want it to be like, air. Totally.
All right. So Charlie said, my course correction, because I said her site may carry it, but she said we do not carry the Rose. We have the Adventurer. All right, ladies.
So that means it will give you the same function possibly, or pleasure. It's just called something different.
Yeah.
And she also said, yes, clitoral versus penetration preference. Well, ladies, it sounds like we're getting in the thick of things.
I like what you did right there. I like what you did right there.
Oh man. So I thought what you were asking about her husband was kind of interesting too. As far as, is he pregnant with you? I know I had picked up some symptoms, and I wonder. I said, I know good and well I'm not pregnant, so why am I picking up these symptoms? But as far as like hurt, back soreness, or nausea every now and then, it's kind of funny how that works, as far as when you're I guess looking at it from a male's perspective, and you're watching your significant other go through that process. I don't know where it's mentally, or whether you do also have those same type of symptoms. I will, like Melissa said, do some homework on that. What was it called again?
Andropause.
Andropause. Okay, I will have to do some research.
Andropause.
Yeah, so we'll have to do some research on that though. But I do know during her pregnancy I experienced some of those symptoms.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pregnancy is real, Charlie said.
Yeah. So there is, some men do feel it way more than others. And I've read stories of guys like getting nauseous to the point of almost vomiting, or maybe vomiting, and feeling so tired that they can't get up from out of bed. And it's really bizarre to me, because I would give anything to get up out of bed some days, or to not feel nauseous. I mean, for first trimester, I can get up now, obviously. Thank you. Oh,
right.
But, it's funny too, because I don't think that they want to experience those symptoms. I do think it's psychological. It's got to be. I mean, it has to be, right? So,
yeah, it's definitely real. My uncle, rest in peace, he knew every time his wife was pregnant, because he would get nauseous on his way to, like, he would get nauseous and would vomit, and he would call her and be like, you got something to tell me? And sometimes she'd be like, what are you talking about? Whatever. But then she's like, let me go to the doctors. And like, he would know before she would.
Wow.
Every time.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah. You know what? I think I appreciate Charlie joining us, but I believe you scared Terry off. She found that you were coming on, Liz, and she said every time you come on, oh, a matter of fact, every time you come on, she gets pregnant. So look who look who just joined the show.
Hi, Liz.
Oh, don't worry, you won't get pregnant this time. I'm pregnant for us. So.
There you go. See?
I checked the box.
Liz said she took this one for the team, Terry.
So of course, Charlie's been chiming in of course. So Terry, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. She's been discussing a lot about how her pregnancy has been going up to this point, as well as um, how can I put this? What comes along with it with your partner?
With it. I don't know.
So let's see. Charlie says, I know men that are in tune with their significant others. True that, true that. And Terry says, what? I don't know what she was saying. What? Because
Did
she
you not know
now
that
found
Liz
out
was
she was
pregnant?
pregnant.
I don't think she knew she was pregnant yet.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And
she's 28 weeks, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
And she appreciates your service.
Thank you.
So Liz, let me get one more in, because I know you got still a couple of them, Mel. But personal, has your sex drive increased or decreased during the pregnancy?
Anybody else who's been pregnant want to chime in on this? I mean,
anybody can share. Yes.
Wait.
All the way up.
Yeah, it's up. It's turned up to 11. It's just some days, some days no. First trimester when I was feeling icky, I mean, I couldn't do anything. Yeah, increase. Yep, Terry knows. First trimester when I was feeling icky, I mean, I wasn't doing anything except trying to eat crackers and peanut butter and just surviving the day. But once I got over that, it's a go.
Green light. Okay.
Yes, last trimester that
yes.
entered. Steve's.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Steve. Poor Steve. We need to check on Steve this last couple weeks.
Get that man a Gatorade and put him back in.
Seriously, it's pretty astounding. I personally, pre-pregnancy, have a high libido, especially for a woman, generally speaking. And so this has just been kind of mind-boggling for me to experience. But I mean, I'm a hormonal monster right now. There's just hormones coursing through every cell of my body. And I never really know. I mean, I'm emotional, but thankfully in my pregnancy, I haven't been I'll get very teary and I'll cry easily, but not, for me, it hasn't been sad tears very much. It's been, I see a commercial with a baby in it and I'm like, oh my gosh, or baby animals, or, it's just instantaneous with, there's a Netflix show called Babies, and it goes through, all this research that they've done on babies. And I cry so much every single episode. I think if you're not pregnant, you would too, but it's constant. So my hormones are out of whack and definitely taking the wheel of my sex drive. And I'm just along for the ride here.
Well, I hate to assume something, or I have to say that your husband might be the MVP in this one. So Charlie was pretty much seconding what you were saying. That's how I knew I was, and also increased with every cycle for me. And Terry, she's laughing. She's falling out over there apparently.
Yeah, the whole crying doing sex thing is like, okay. So you're going to do what you want to do and I'm going to do what I want to do, because there's no reason why I should be crying. Being pregnant is probably one of the best and the weirdest experiences you can ever have as a woman.
I would agree. It has been wild. Some days I feel like, Superwoman. I'm like, wow, I'm growing a human from scratch. This is like, look at me go. And then other days I'm like, I feel like an incubator. I'm a host to a parasite. I don't feel like I'm in my own skin. I hate the way clothes feel on me, and sleep. I don't know what sleep is anymore, and the baby's not even here. So I guess it's just prepping me for inevitable sleep deprivation. I'm not really sure. I'm losing my mind every other minute. It's wild how, it's wonderful, beautiful. I'm totally being able to all encompass, understand the miracle of it as I go through it. And I'm also realizing how weird this is.
Yes. Terry said, I started laughing once and he thought I was laughing at him, but I wasn't. I don't know. Everything was moving and going and I just busted out laughing.
Yeah. There's been a lot of laughs at probably inappropriate times.
Probably. Yeah.
Those were the days.
Yeah. No one understands. This is why it's important to have a good support system. And if you are privileged to have your partner go along with you, to have a partner, because there's so many things that you're experiencing that is not sexual, but it leads to sexual, because it's about your body, it's about your feelings, it's about things that are tender, things that are not, things that are, all of these things. You have to have that communication with your partner to be able to say, hey, the breasts are off limits this time because they're a little tender. And you got times when they're not. It's all kinds of different transitions that happen. And it can be fun, or you can look at it as a negative way. And I think if you look at it with fun, it brings you closer together.
Yeah.
I guess all of you can chime in on this. So when you all went through that experience and you had those down days, what was it that would help bring you out of it, if that makes any sense? It was just eating or finding something on TV that would hopefully correct or help your mood change, or how did you all handle that?
For me personally, since I'm very in tune with that, currently, that totally depends on the day. Some days there's just no bringing me out of it. I'm just down for the count. I'm just having a bluesy day, and it's just going to take another day coming. I love a good snack, but I've never felt like they help me emotionally. I mean, I'll still eat a good snack, but it won't do anything for me emotionally. So I think I've been trying really hard, even before pregnancy, but especially during pregnancy, to understand, what do I need? Like, do I need my partner to just hear me out? Do I just need to vent and cry and just throw my aggression at an ear who's listening to me, and then not have anything else except like a hug at the end of it, or just like damn, that sounds tough, I'm sorry you're going through it. Like, sometimes that's all I need. Other times I want a solution offered. Other times, I don't want anything from Steve, and I need like a girlfriend or my sister or my mom, or a friend who's been through pregnancy or going through pregnancy now, and I'm trying so hard to look through the fog of it and figure out, okay, what is it that's going to help me come out of this funk, if anything. And it's hard. It's hard to know. It takes a lot of trial and error. But for me personally, I think it's just venting to Steve, having him, usually it's venting to Steve, having him tell me, I understand, or even if he doesn't understand, like pretend like you understand, just say, I hear you. That's tough. And then going and taking a bath or something and just doing something just by myself, like meditating in the bath, listening to music, that's me. I don't know.
For me, I was an eater. I'm an emotional eater. So having something, if I could tolerate it, sometimes I just kind of wanted to be by myself and just lay there in whatever position I could find. Other times, I really didn't want to talk. I just wanted Ben to just kind of hold me. You just kind of have to have that, be keen into what you like need, because ultimately the baby is dictating all of this. And so if the baby is uncomfortable and moving around, then you try to make yourself comfortable because you can't do anything with the baby. So you have to try to find a comfortable spot, a comfortable blanket, a comfortable position, I didn't have a lot of the bluesies too much. I'm not a crier, so I would cry at commercials, or I would cry at stupid stuff. Like I asked Ben to bring ice cream home when I could eat ice cream, and he brought home the wrong ice cream. And I was looking forward to it so much because, cravings are like real. Like they are like when you see people and they're like tearing into stuff, like that was me. It is not an act. And he brought home not so much the wrong ice cream, he brought home what they had, put it that way. And I just broke out in tears, like, this isn't what I wanted, and so, to experience that with me not really being a crier, he's like, oh my God, like what's going on? And so I think that's the most that I've ever had to deal with both of my pregnancies. The after pregnancy was definitely a journey, because with both of my daughters, each pregnancy was different, and each after birth pregnancy was different. Like after birth was different too. So you just have to deal with it. But I do want to let you know, I'm here, Terry's here, Charlie's here, you can get some different perspectives, and you could, hit us up. I'll put my number in the inbox. Call me, send me a text, let me know, because it's important to have a support system. It is so important, to have somebody that can say, hey, my butt is like tingling and I don't know why. Like, people don't understand, like, it's stuff like that, and you feel stupid saying it out loud, but I'm like, oh, that's your skin, or you might want to use some moisturizer. Like, I can tell you, oh, that's not weird, like, you're okay. Or having a hyper pigmentation, or your skin, changing colors, like all of that stuff is the hormones. And so you're not ugly, you're not like, oh my God, I'm turning into this hideous person. It's fine, and it's reversible. Trust me, as soon as you purge all those hormones out, you're going to be going right back to who you were originally. So Terry said, during the second labor, CJ kept saying positive, reassuring things, and with all my might, I calmly told him to please stop talking. I know he's trying to help, but it's not helping.
Thank you, Terry. Yeah. You're spot on though. With that support system, it's weird because I feel like I'm never alone, because I have this baby and I feel very bonded with the baby already. And it's wonderful and beautiful and I love it. But pregnancy is also incredibly lonely. And even with support systems, there are just times where you just feel like nobody understands. So being able to reach out about like a butt tingle or just like, I just feel in a funk today and I don't know why, and just being able to lament with people is
and somebody we give you a high five, like, boop, that's fine, girl. Enjoy that funk today.
I know. Just it really is a lot. I've been using this app called Peanut, and it's like online dating, I guess, but for pregnant people to find each other and like parents to be to find each other, mostly moms. And I met my husband before online dating, before, app dating and stuff. The only app out there was Grindr, so that didn't really apply to me. So so I never really had experience with online dating, but this I think is pretty comparable to it. And I feel for everybody. I'm getting a sort of firsthand experience with it. And I feel for everybody trying to do online dating because this is weird. It's really weird meeting people. And like, I found myself being like, I don't know, kind of judgy based off of a profile. And I'm like, ooh, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to judge them based on this picture they chose to put on their profile or this, the way they phrased, their interests or whatever. I don't know. It is so bizarre, but I have found a small group there of pregnant women, and it's been helpful. But there are still times, like Terry's saying, feeling lonely a lot. There are times when you just feel lonely, and that's just how it is. And you just got to ride the wave and get through it.
Gotta ride the wave and get through it. And when I was and this is where that high libido comes in, because like what made me feel better or would like give me a break from the blues is to have sex, and then like literally I'm back to
I mean, sometimes it's like that.
So, you want to break the routine. You're like, okay, let's do it. And then, you're happy, and then you're like napping. And then when you wake up, it's like, so yeah, it's interesting. So as Make Money like to say, resetting the table, where do you see your sex education career now that you're going to becoming a mother?
That is a fantastic question. I've been thinking a lot about it and also letting myself not think about it at all. Kind of both, depending on the day. When I was, I don't really know. When I was first trimester, I didn't do anything online, social media marketing. I just like handled the clients that I had. I didn't try to gather any new. I was just like surviving the day, right? And once I felt better, I was like, okay, well, I haven't. For those who follow me on social media, you may have noticed I haven't been very active. It doesn't fill my cup. Social media has never really filled my cup, and pregnancy has given me this mindset of if something doesn't fill my cup, I can't be bothered with it. Because if I don't like doing it and it puts me in a mood, that's not good for baby. So I'm just trying to be happy with my day. And so I haven't really been on social media. And I have kind of not put my sex education work on the back burner at all, but I'm letting it kind of just go where it may. And my networking has come through. And I have had some really fun opportunities lately. Some referrals have been coming in from doctors and physicians of all kinds. And I'm starting to do some work with creating training modules for physicians to talk to their patients about intimacy, which is kind of a dream gig for me. In undergrad, I was actually pre-medicine. I love medicine and I love like the human body on not just the sexology, sociology, psychological level, but I'm a total nerd for anatomy and physiology and biology and that kind of stuff. So being able to tap into to medicine and get in with physicians and help them help their patients with intimacy is a total nerdy dream job for me. So I don't know exactly where life is going to take me with all that. I'm kind of just letting it go where it may. I do really want to get into, or I could really see myself getting into like mom groups and parent groups and doing workshops for them about, sex with a kid and how do you have to make time for that. How do you keep your intimacy alive when all your focus is now on this little bundle of love, and you can't forget the foundation of what created that little bundle of love. So I think I want to do some work there. I don't know if, just with the time that I have left, I have under 3 months left.
Right.
So it probably will happen when I have that experience for myself, which will only make it a little bit more credible anyway. But I think it'd be fun to do that.
I definitely see you doing that. And I think it's important because everyone focuses on the pregnancy. Everyone focuses on the baby. No one focuses on the mom after the baby. No one focuses on the couple after the baby. It's like, okay, the baby's here, boom, and that's it. Like, and that kind of help promotes postpartum because you had all this attention, all this, intentional calls and how you feeling and this, that, and the other. And then everything goes towards the baby. And you're like, wait a minute, hold up. Like, I did this too. So I definitely encourage you to take your sex education and into that realm because some moms feel guilty. Some moms feel guilty about having sex after they have a baby. There's all kinds of things that happen. And to keep that mindset that you are still a woman and you were a woman first. And if you're married, you are still a wife first. That child is not a priority. And that sounds horrible because society has made us feel like that should be what is the priority. But you and your husband, the union is the priority, and then the family, then the kids. And so we kind of have to start training or retraining, young couples like yourself and young moms, first-time moms, to say, look, it's okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Well, real quick, thank you for joining us, Tina. She said, I'm sorry, I'm totally judging people off of their profiles. Tell me why everyone single guy starts off with cool and laid back kind of guy.
Of course, the representative, Tina. And then he's so desperate. I didn't hear from you today, or you didn't call me. I messaged you like on Wednesday. It's Friday.
Yeah, and apparently Terry liked your motto about letting it go where it may, as far as social media and everything of that sort. Tina also says, like, you ain't got nothing else to say after that. Not everyone, but many of the men need to say more about yourself. So she's on that profile thing, and she says, sorry, off topic. Terry says you got to say F them kids once in a while. Oh, wow.
It's true though. Thursday nights are for, mom and dad or parents, this is kids, here's pizza, or here's, spend some time at grandma and grandpa's house or whatever. They'll be fine. I promise they'll be fine. They need to learn to be okay away from mom and dad, not have their attention, so that the attention can be on each other. Mm-hmm. And I also think too that it's important for kids to see affection being displayed and role modeled in their household. I think too often we get prudish and we don't want to show them, you know, that we are lovey-dovey with our partner. But I think that's really important for them to see a healthy relationship role modeled for them.
It is, and that full transparency you talk about. For me, both of my daughters are adults, 22 and 20, and the lack of that affects how they are in their relationships. So it's very important for them to see mommy and daddy being affectionate, daddy dating mommy being girly. Because when they don't see it can have an effect on how they are in their relationships. I have one that is like really, really cuddly, really, really like, you know, smoochy with her boyfriend. And then I have one that's like, let's get to know each other even more. Even though you like been dating them for like 6 months, it's like, let me let you know when I want you to touch me. So, I mean, it definitely, it's so many different aspects when you start talking about the pre-sex, I like to call it, before you get sexual, like, you know, all of that. I don't really like to call it foreplay, just, you know, being affectionate, you know, sitting on the couch and watching TV together, and she, you know, he may be laying in her lap or she may be laying in, all of that, your kids are taking it in, you know.
And even if they're like, ew,
right.
I mean, deep down they're like, or later they'll reflect on it and say, well, thank goodness, mom, you know, my parents were
right
like that, instead of biting each other's heads off every other, you know, or if you bite their heads off every once in a while, at least there's some balance, you know, like,
or you just have like just this void between them, like, you know, there's never any like togetherness. It's just kind of like you're here, they're there, and you know, that's kind of what they see. So Tina said, I went through postpartum depression so bad after my second pregnancy, I was miserable for quite a while.
Yeah.
Find a 24-hour childcare and drop them suckers off once a week. My postpartum after my second pregnancy was scary, and I'm so glad it didn't last long. It was really not talked about enough.
Yeah,
that's true. And it's not talked about how postpartum looks, Terry, either, because everyone always looks like, oh, you got to be depressed and, you know, don't want to move. But postpartum takes very, very, very many different shapes. And that's why a lot of moms aren't aware that they're experiencing it.
Yeah.
But we're here, Liz. We are here for you. Me, Lit, and Terry, and Charlie Twos. We're going to send you our numbers because we want to be a part of your support system.
Thank you.
And I want to keep you encouraged, not to be annoying, but I just want to keep you encouraged to keep doing the work that you're doing. In the new avenue. I'm so excited about the new avenue that I see it taking, as far as, you know, sex with life after children or with children. You know, you're definitely that person that can give that encouragement, that education, that information, and it be received.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, thank you. I appreciate the support with that and encouragement. It does. That's what I feed off of, is other people telling me like, yeah, this is good information. So I take that to heart. I do. And my career thus far has been very much driven by my personal interest with it. And that, I mean, selfishly has been with my own personal experiences. So that's probably exactly where it's gonna lead. So and I'm excited to get into it. I've had some clients before, kind of recently, who have been asking me about, you know, not explicitly asking and saying like, this is my problem, is like figuring out how to be sexy after kids, but that's what it ended up being, we discovered. And I really enjoyed the work that we did and the successes that we saw. And that is such an untapped market. I mean, that's such a businessy way of saying it, but it's such people need help there. People need help. We're not taught how to get our groove back after a kid. Women are not taught how to feel sexy again after, you know, their boobs are like milk jugs. They're just like baby bottles for the longest time.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you get the go ahead from the doctor to have sex again. And your partner is like, hey, oh my gosh, your boobs are filled with milk and they're so like juicy looking and I want some. And you're like, wait, but they were just for my baby. Now I have to like flip a switch and now they're sexy. And how do I feel about all of this? And it's just like this big old
I'm gonna tell you right now, there is nothing. If you're going to nurse, keep your bra on, because nursing and having sex and getting stimulated promotes your milk and it's going to shoot out firsthand. I was laughing. Terry, that was another laughable moment during sex after kids and nursing, and you're taking this bra off and you're going through this thing like, oh, well, this is where the baby sucks to, and you know, and now you're supposed to be stimulating me, and then as soon as you're aroused, then the milk is like, shoo, and that was hilarious. Like, oh my God.
That is incredible.
Wow. Yeah, sleep with a towel.
Terry said, sleep with a towel on your bra.
Oh, many nights I have woken up in a pool of milk. Oh, this will be fun.
Well, that's if you produce that much, though, Terry. That I wasn't that much of a producer. And if you are going to have any type of fibers or anything against your nipples, make sure you moisturize because they will dry you out.
I did hear that.
Well, this has been a learning.
Uncomfortable.
No, I mean,
let's
this
reset
is
the table. Let's reset the table.
No, this has been a real learning experience for me. To
Me
a certain
too.
extent. I knew of some of it because I went through with my wife, but a lot of it, you know, just hearing it from other perspectives, it's a lot that goes on with a pregnancy. And I commend you ladies for being stand-up mothers and soon to be mothers. And yeah, it's certainly a miracle.
Thank you.
My milk wouldn't stop one day after Callie pulled away and I didn't know what to do. So I sprayed it on CJ's back while he was sleeping. Wow. I appreciate you sharing that, Terry.
Oh my God. Poor CJ. Poor CJ. Terry, now you know doggone well.
You gonna reprimand her?
Breast milk is apparently very healing, though. So maybe he had skin like butter. Who knows? Maybe you did him a favor.
Carrie, where you at? This has been fun. This has been fun, though.
It has been fun, Liz. And I'm sorry if we got off more on your pregnancy than maybe sexual, but
right.
I just feel like, I mean, you know, we're family, so that's just what we do, and I'm so excited for you and happy for you. I speak for Kerry in his absence as well. When we found out, you know, it was like, wow, we and A Money and Kerry were all elated that you were having your first child, and you're a part of our family. That baby will be a part of our family, and so as you see, the viewers are like, hey, call me. Terry says she's up at 3 a.m. in the morning. So call her. It doesn't matter. Poor Adrian, just in the middle of it all.
I appreciate that, Tina. It's all right, though. It's all right.
Hey, you know it, Tina. Yeah. You know he is sitting here shifting in his seat.
Hey, you get used to it when you have Liz on. So no, I'm good. I'm good. I appreciate it, though.
I do appreciate that, though. This baby's been kicking this whole hour, so I think
Woohoo!
love, just dishing the love right back, and can't wait to have baby do a little cameo.
Oh, we
Do
would
you
love
have a
that.
preference?
Say that again.
Do you have a preference? Boy, girl?
No, no preference. We're not finding out, so we don't know.
Okay.
Mm.
I don't know. I feel like it's a girl, but I don't know if I'm just feeling my own feminine energy, you know?
Right.
So
Mm.
I don't really care either way. I'm just excited to have a baby and
Yeah.
start a
She's
family.
having a
Wild. Love it.
Hey, well, continue successes in your profession, wherever that would take you. It sounds like it's on the track to develop it into a lot more than what it was first initially what you thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So continue success with that. Congratulations with the baby and everything. Like Mel was saying, we trust me, as a tribe over here supporting you as well. We're elated for you and your husband, and we can't wait to see the first pictures and have you back on here as soon as possible.
Yeah, I can't wait. Oh, I appreciate the love and support.
Yes,
Right
and
back
to
at you.
our family out there, we appreciate you commenting. Please share if you so find it in your heart to do. We appreciate your continued support. And Mel, you got anything left?
We've had Liz on the show a number of times. She is one of our we have a VIP list. She's one of our VIP guests that we like to have on. So as A Money said, like and share this, but also go back on some of our previous shows and watch them. Look up Liz and watch some of those shows as well. Because you truly get a lot of information. One thing
Hmm.
that does not change is our bodies and sex as far as how it relates to each other. So, what you may not have been experiencing in 2019, you might be experiencing now. So, uh, if you do truly want some education and some other questions maybe being answered, check out some of our previous shows that we've had Liz on. Charlie Toots, you're next, sister. We
Hmm.
got to have you on again. Charlie Toots also is an educator, and she goes into more of the product lines and how they relate to your good time, your me time, even. So, Charlie Toots, we're going to have you on as well very soon. Let us know your schedule. But yeah, I'm good, A Money. I'm good. I'm just ready to see the little baby.
Me too.
And real quick, Liz, you mind telling everybody how they can follow you?
Oh, yeah. On social media, Instagram, I'm what is it? Liz the Sexpert. And you can email me, Liz at lizmallers.com. Last name is Mallers, as seen on my screen there. And my website is lizmallers.com. Yeah, I think that's it, right?
You heard it, family. Check her out and support. And we hopefully will see you next week, family. And stay blessed and be safe. Hold on for us, Liz.
My family.
Bye.